everyone, it's Kim over here at Creating Community, and today it is time to share what we read in our homeschool for the month of October. So if you're interested, stick around. We're about to get started. Okay, so the first book I'm going to share with you isn't actually the physical book. I'm just going to put a picture of it here amongst my face somewhere, and it was called The Fabulous Feud of Gilbert and Sullivan by Jonah Winter and Richard Ilgilsky. I think that's how you say it. Anyways, it was, these were some of the people that we were studying in our music portion of our homeschool, and I just thought it would be fun. We had somebody else read it, so someone from YouTube read the book to us, so that was really cool. Okay, so let's move on to the actual physical books that we read or are still reading. Hope wanted to study the Titanic. She ended up seeing the movie, and so then she wanted to know more after we saw the movie, and she really loved it, by the way. So we decided to do The Magic Tree House, Tonight on the Titanic by Mary Pope Osborne, and we really enjoyed this. Super fun, super cute book. And then we also decided to do the research guide with it, the Titanic Research Guide. It's a nonfiction companion to Tonight on the Titanic. This is really good. If you haven't done the research guides with some of these books, you should really check them out. We learned so much from this book. Poppy and I were like so surprised. There were a lot of things that we didn't know. It was amazing. Like, check it out. All right. So the next thing is, if you're a regular follower of my channel, that we love Anne of Green Gables. And so we finally, it took us all summer. This is the longest that has taken us to finish any book of the Anne series, but Anne of Ingleside. We finally finished this one, enjoyed it as usual, loved it. And we actually just recently watched Anne of Green Gables, the movie, and we loved it. So I'm going to probably try to get her some of those on DVD for Christmas, because that's how much we loved it. So then we moved on, of course. So now we're on Rainbow Valley, and I'm so sad because we're almost done with this series. This is book 7 of 8 from the whole box set that I have. And we are already on page 104. Like, we're cutting through this pretty quickly. Gonna slow down for the month of December because I've got some plans for some Christmas reading for December. So stick around. I'm gonna be sharing with you what we're gonna be reading for December. It's gonna be really fun. Okay, so let's move on. So this is a book that Hope read on her own. It's part of our Sunlight curriculum. And she said that she really enjoyed it. And she was like, boy, Grandma, that was really fast, because she's gotten used to reading much thicker books. But The Thanksgiving Story by Alice Dalgleish. And she said she really enjoyed this book. She hasn't yet told me a book that she's read for Sunlight that she doesn't like. So that is just wonderful to me, that she has found nothing that she could say that she doesn't like at all. So the next book that she read on her own was Squanto, Friend of the Pilgrims by Clyde Robert Beulah. And she said she really enjoyed this book as well, part of our Sunlight history. And then Pocahontas and the Strangers by Clyde Robert Beulah is the other one that she read. So she's been doing quite a bit of reading. So she said this one was really good as well, which makes me happy, because if they enjoy reading, they will enjoy learning, it's a whole package deal. All right. So the next one was the read aloud that I read to Hope, and it's by Elizabeth George Spear, The Witch of Blackbird Pond. This book was amazing. I'm going to read you the synopsis on the back of this book. It was hard to not read ahead. I was trying to kind of keep with the schedule of Sunlight. It was really hard for us not to read ahead. That's how much it kind of sucked us in. But I'll go ahead and read you the back if you haven't heard of this book before. Kit has grown up on the island of Barbados, loved and pampered by her grandfather, but after his death, Kit must leave. It's not proper for a 16-year-old girl to live by herself. She's heard stories about her aunt and uncle who live in the colony of Connecticut. These are the only relatives Kit knows of, so alone and desperate, she sets sail to live with them in New England. When she arrives, Kit is shocked by the gray, damp landscape, but even more stunned by the puritanical lifestyle of her uncle's household. Fitting in is not easy until she meets Hannah Tupper, an older woman who lives alone and is the only person who lets Kit be herself. But the colonists believe Hannah is a witch. If they discover Kit is her friend, they will think the same of her. Kit must choose should she abandon her only friend or stand by her and risk losing everything. This book was superb. Very, very good book. Good job, Sunlight. This is part of our Read Aloud for Sunlight curriculum. Love, love, love this book. Highly suggest it. Okay, so last but not least, and we just finished this book as well. This book was so good, and it was one of my Ollie's specials, and if I think of it, I'll try to remember, if I can remember what video it was from, when I got it from our Ollie's Haul of Books. But When the Crickets Stopped Singing by Marilyn Cram Donahue. An amazing book. Well worth the $2.99 that I paid for it. And I'm going to go ahead and read this to you as well. It does deal with a bit more mature topics, but I feel that Hope was ready, and we loved the book. 12-year-old Angie Wallace expects the summer of 1939 to be filled with hopscotch games, trips to the beach, and playing kick the can until the moon comes out. She and her best friend, Geraldine, can't wait for the long days of freedom. But when the preacher's daughter, Reba Lou, moves in across the street, the three girls band together with another goal. They make a pact to love thy neighbor, starting with their strangest neighbors, like Miss Emma, whose bedroom is filled with uncaged animals, and Dodie Crumper, a peculiar girl they used to avoid at all costs. But as they move through their neighborly to-do list, Angie and her friends can't help but notice that there's something strange about the return of a man named Jefferson Clement. He might seem well-dressed and respected, but each time they see him, they become more convinced that he can't be trusted. The adults either don't notice or don't want to notice the danger he poses. That is not until Angie learns a terrible truth and is left with a life-changing choice. Can she speak up, even when everyone else wants to look the other way? Very good read. A great read to read with your child. Some important things to talk about happen in this book. I don't want to give it away. It's very good. Give it a minute. Okay, everyone, there you have it. All the wonderful books that we've been reading for the month of October. Make sure that you stick around because, like I said, I'm going to be sharing what my reading plans are for the month of December for Christmas, and I'm super excited. God bless, take care, and I'll talk to you in the next video.